Today on the Political Spotlight, Senator Louise Lucas talks on Mark Warner for Senate.
As a woman in business, my topics that I want to ask you is about women in business and Senator Mark Warner's position, because I know he had two businesses of his own.
Exactly.
And he had to keep going and try again until he got Nextel. So for a woman as myself, my question would be, what do we have to look forward as far as for small businesses to be able to expect from Senator Mark Warner?
Okay, I think Governor McAuliffe has made it easy for Senator Mark Warner in that he signed Executive Order number 20, and this was just within the last 3 months. And what that order says is that any business that comes into Virginia that does any business with the state, that 45% of that business has to go to SWAM certified businesses, which is small, women, and minority-owned businesses. Otherwise, they don't get paid. See, before there were no consequences associated with not following the letter of the law. Now there is. If businesses that come in, especially these large contractors, don't come in, and if they don't slice off a part of that business for small or SWAM businesses, the governor, they just will not get paid. And so the governor will not continue to do business with them. Now, I can say there's a lot of people say, well, what assurances do we have that that's going to happen? Well, Governor McAuliffe has hired a czar, a person who's going to be in charge of monitoring that program to make sure that minorities do get their fair share of business in the Commonwealth of Virginia. One of the things that I found has been a big problem for SWAM certified businesses is having access to capital. So what we want to also do is to make sure that we open up doors at banks so that minorities and other members of the SWAM community can have access to capital so that they can keep their businesses going. Because a lot of folks can't go to the bank, and I mean, I was blessed because I'd worked at the shipyard and I had been executive director of the stock organization, and I had stockpiles of money. So when I started my first business and I went to the bank and I said, well, I want to borrow $1 million, and they said, fine. I went through SBA, but you have to come up with 20% of your own money.
That's right.
Now, for people who are not able to come up with 20% of their own money, they're going to have to be able to have access to that capital some other way. And there are all kinds of what they call mechanisms now that help SWAM certified businesses to be able to do that. So Governor McCullough has made it easier for people in Virginia to open up a business, but Senator Mark Warner has always been about economic development, because a part of what he has in his package is a whole economic development platform. And so anytime we need to call on him to assist us in any way with jobs, the economy, and economic development that has to do with small and minority businesses, he's always been there for us.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, because that was one of my concerns. And I know a lot of women, as I say, I'm trying to speak of some of the questions that I've heard. The next question I would have is women's rights and their health issues. You know, we have our own issues as women. And my question to you would be, what can we expect from Senator Mark Warner in reference to the women's health rights and our issues that we face day to day? Is he for us?
Oh, absolutely, he is for us, and he was for us when he was governor. But when it comes to the issues that impact the health issues for women in this country, as you know, we have a Congress that we call the Do Nothing Congress, and the guys on the other side of the aisle has tried to do everything from A to Z to try to thwart efforts. But I can tell you in Virginia, we have managed to roll back issues that are negatively impact women's health. But one thing that can help is for us to expand Medicaid. Right. The Medicaid expansion program is one of the most significant things left for us to do in Virginia to make sure that, first of all, women have health insurance.
That's right.
Because you can't take care of your health issues if you don't have health insurance.
That's right.
You've got to have health insurance. And with just within the last 3 months, we've been able to get a measure passed that would get maybe 200,000 more people who were not eligible for insurance under the Affordable Care Act. Call it Obamacare. I like calling it Obamacare. I like calling it Obamacare. But there were about 200,000 people who were not able to get insurance through Obamacare, but who fell through the crack and was not able, because we didn't pass the Medicaid expansion in Virginia, who didn't have any insurance. So within the last several months, last several weeks, as a matter of fact, we've been able to, through Governor McCullough's efforts, to open up the door so that 200,000 more people will have access to health insurance. Now, I can tell you, none of this could have happened but for the efforts of the governors before Terry McCullough. So you've got to give Mark Warner credit for it, just like you have to give Tim Kaine credit for it. So just know that Mark Warner has always been right there on the front line in terms of all of the issues that are important to us as women.
All right, thank you so much. And my last question, not least, everyone talks about the minimum wage. Okay, we've been seeing some increases, and then we hear it's not going to happen, it is going to happen. So what do we think is going to happen with this, with Mark Warner coming to the plate as far as the minimum wage?
But all you got to do is go back and check his track record. And Mark Warner has always been in support of expansion for minimum wage. But the thing of it is, you got to know, is the weight of any particular issue cannot rest with one senator or with one delegate or with one member of the House of Delegates.
That's true.
Senator Mark Warner is going to make up the combination of senators who will help get these measures passed. And Mark Warner has been on record time and time again being of support of increasing the minimum wage. It's just that we've not been able to get the Republicans, and let me just go on and say it like it is, to agree to it.
Wow.
So I can tell you, on almost all, I wouldn't be sitting here right now being a surrogate for Mark Warner if I didn't believe in him 100% on all of the issues that impact the lives of all of us.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just for the record, can you just explain, because a lot of people, we go out to the polls and we hear Senator Mark Warner, and then we hear Democrat, and Republicans, and we don't understand the importance. I know you stated earlier that we have to make sure we vote in Senator Mark Warner as far as keeping their whatever, and the importance of the balance of the House. And I think that's the part I would, like for you to explain, because I did not understand fully as a voter myself the balance. I just knew I was voting for someone, and if I didn't like this person, I'd just vote for that one. But it's not so much just that. It's more of keeping the House balanced, because as you stated earlier, President Obama needs us to keep it balanced. So we need the Democrats, and we need that balance. Can you explain that?
Oh, absolutely. And I can make it simpler for you by making the numbers smaller.
Okay.
Here in Virginia, we have 100 members of the House of Delegates, and we have 40 members of the Senate.
Okay.
So I'm one of 40. So there takes 21 of us in the Senate. I want to make the number small. It takes 21 of us in the Senate to get any bill passed. But then that bill has to go through the House of Delegates, which is what we call the bicameral process. When it gets to the House, if we got enough people in the House of Delegates who agree with us, then we can get the measure passed and get it up to the governor's office. The problem that we have right now in Virginia is when we had one senator to leave the Senate and left us with a 2019 Senate, that meant the lieutenant governor, who is Ralph Northam, was no longer able to break the tie. We had 20 Republicans, 20 Democrats, but we had a Democratic governor, a Democratic lieutenant governor, and a Democratic attorney general. So the lieutenant governor is the one who breaks the tie. Now that we have 19-21, Democrats can't get a thing out of the Senate because we're missing by one vote.
Wow.
One seat.
Wow. One seat.
One seat. And I can tell you all, how many of you all remember Senator Yvonne B. Miller?
Yes.
Woo! When Senator Miller was with us, we were able to have 20 of us on the Senate side and 20 on the Republican side. And we were able to, all of us, because we were in the majority at that point, each of us had a gavel. Senator Miller was chair of her committee. I was chair of local government. I've been chair of education and health. Senator Mamie Locke was chair of technology. Senator Henry Marsh, the civil rights lawyer from Richmond, was chair of courts of justice. And in that next election, we lost one seat, and all the African Americans and all of the women had to give up their gavels because we were no longer the majority. Wow. So now all of the 11 standing committees in the Senate are held by white men who are Republicans.
Wow.
We missed it by 1 seat. So when that one person left this year, all of us had to give up our gavels and we lost our seat as chair.
Wow.
So people don't understand how significant it is to lose one member of the Senate, which is what we lost. We lost one member, and all of the African Americans and women had to give up their gavels because we lost 1 seat. So that's how critical it is that you go out and you vote.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I just want to encourage everyone as well, knowing that the balance is so very important. It is so important. And we definitely want to see Senator Louise Lucas with her gavel again.
I want him to.
So please go out and vote for Senator Mark Warren.
I say Mark, you say Warren. Mark
Warren.
Mark
Warren.